Hello and welcome to another Messages from Energy from the SELF Flower. Welcome to the day, beautiful countryside in front of me, lovely church just behind me. This is a place that I come quite regularly, sitting on this line that's going through here. How's it been for you for the energies of this week? It has played out pretty much what we sort of said last week in the Messages from Energy. It was very light, very easygoing, not going very quickly. There was not a lot of things going on in the way of energies. There was not so much in the way of earthquakes. There was a few here and there, but there's been very little solar activities apart from filament energies that have been coming off, which has been that water. And connecting with that fire as well. So I think that's been driving a bit of frustration around the world that we can see in various parts of the world, where people are frustrated one way or another from whatever point of view you're coming from. So, that frustration is obviously coming to the surface and bubbling to the surface. We're now in a position here on the energies where there's a real calm going on, and I think this is the calm before the storm. I don't think the storm is going to be here for another couple of weeks. I still think this week's energies are going to be calm and relaxed, and that will help everybody to just get on. It's also a good way of clearing out things, detoxing one's life or one's body. Both ways, and it works really, really well, I think, for that sort of thing. It's also about sort of building your future, stepping into your pathway or walking down your pathway and creating it, and really being engaged, not just consciously, but physically as well, emotionally, energetically, in every aspect of it all, and not really sort of looking right or left. If you're very concerned about your spiritual and your energetic pathway, it's keeping straight on, as it were. I do apologise. I have the remnants of a cold that's been going through. It's taken me around about sort of 36 hours to get rid of it. I'm coming out the other side of it now, but just one of those summer colds, I guess. Not enough vitamin D, maybe. So, yes, the energies here, and I've just been testing the lines here, are also very calm. There's no extremes in any form. It's not going quick. It's not going slow. It's not jubilous. And it's not ecstatic, but it's not upset. It's not sort of angry either. It plays in both ways, in the sense that it's all very calm. As I said, the calm before the storm. That's because we're coming up to the solstice coming up in the next couple of weeks, the start of Cancer season, obviously, and the finalising of Gemini season. And this is the more often than not, in the week leading up to, or the few days before the solstice period, the sun does tend to pick up. So I would be expecting more sort of flaring activity to be coming back around in the next 10 to 15 days. And I'm not even sure they're going to be facing Earth at the moment. So yes, that's the calm energy that we get at the moment here. Let's just connect to the energy. We're just going to find that point 0 and see what's going on. Absolutely beautiful energy. It is very peaceful. It's almost like heaven on earth, because that's what it's like upstairs. It's peaceful. There's nothing but peace. So, excellent. It is incredibly nice. And with that peaceful energy, that leaves us the space to actually start building something, consciously, energetically, as I said before. And when we do start building those sort of things. It's the foundations that we can rely upon in the going future. And this seems like there's, apart from the human matrix and obviously their own set of reality, that's the only thing that could really hold you back. If it depends uniquely on you, on your job, your business, or your projects, or your love, your relationships and so forth, or your spiritual path, if it's very clear for you and you're with someone who's very clear as well, or with a company that's very clear, it should be easy for you to start moving forward in life and really start getting towards those goals, that position that we so wish to be in. And using that peaceful energy to set the foundations means that the house will be built on peace. One's life will be built upon peace. I don't want to say the other two words, which begin with an L and an H, because I think peace is all you need. The other two can be very divisive, so in one way or another. And so I would just say, peace be with you. Let's just see what the let's connect again. Find that central point again. There we go. Just connecting, seeing all the auras that are going around. Really nice. There's a lot of blue actually today. It's harder to see auras in midday sun, which is where I find myself at the moment. But there is a lot of blue around everything. It is a peaceful and like a trickling stream of healing energy that's coming through the vibrations at the moment. So if you're looking for that sort of energy, do get out, do start doing a bit of dowsing, find yourself on that peaceful energy spots that you can find very local to you. Here we go, we've got the central crossing point. There we go, we've got the central neutral point. Here we go. It goes up to the crown and the root. Now they seem very light as well. There's no pressure at the moment to prove. It's just a case of doing more than anything else. It's on the move already, and it's moving down to the solar plexus. It's in the lower part of the solar plexus. So I think this is all to do with fundamental things, and it's not a forceful solar plexus. It is a really nourishing solar plexus, which is sort of encouraging, bringing forth a great deal of determination, but nice determination. It's all done with peace in the background, and it gives you a lot of force in order to do those fundamentals that come out. Now we have the sacrum. So this is really moving into that earth energy, which we will talk about a little bit later on, that's coming through. And it's moving into the sacrum. Let's just see what's going on with that sacrum. It's very balanced. Finding a balance between work and play is very important this week. Recognizing, that when you have a good balance, you're actually a lot more productive in your world in a physical sense, because you have that spiritual or emotional escaping, as it were, from the physical side of the world. Just having those two in balance seems really important there. That comes out with a fundamental desire. It's great that there's no, here we're moving into it now. I was just about to say, great that there's no third eye and throat chakra, because that's been very important over the last few weeks, and it seems to be taking a back seat now. We've got the third eye that's playing in here, and with the throat chakra, it is going towards that idea of peace, heading towards the heart chakra. So it's relying on the heart chakra. And the third eye is very airy. It's very open to exploration into your thoughts, your ideas, your inner visions, bringing that to the fore will be really good. And communicating it seems to be important as well. And communicating what you believe or what you're seeing, I wouldn't say believe, but what you know, that how this world could be, how great and fantastic it can be if it's built upon that sort of peace, foundation, as it were. And it's really nice. It's definitely not overthinking, and it would be a good week here for meditating, to exploring your inner visions about what can be. Okay, now we're moving down. We've gone back down to the solar plexus, and this time it's up towards the crossing point. It's going towards the heart. So I think it's giving force to the words we say and the peace that we express within the world around us. And that could be to the post person, the person who delivers off your post, the postman, or the through talking to friends or family or anybody really. It's really, really nice. And it's on the move again. And it's moving back up to the third eye. And I think this is creating a feedback loop. You can easily create a feedback loop where you explore your inner visions, you express your visions through talk. That gives you the idea and the determination to move your life in a certain direction, and that gives then feedback to more inner visions that are within you. Absolutely fantastic, really nice that comes in there. There's nothing much on the throat chakra. There's a little bit, but it's a lot more on the third eye. But it's not overthinking, it's just clearing, putting an optic on your inner vision so you get more detail, more precision within your inner visions. It's on the move again. It goes back to that solar plexus. Solar plexus seems to be really important without being overbearing. And this is now asking, with the clarity of inner vision, to strike for what you should be living for. And really pushing it to be the defining goals of your life, as it were. And there we go. We got back to the central point. In the energies, and back to, so we are going back to the crown and the root vaguely, but back to the central point more than anything else. There is earth energy coming through because there is a coronal hole that's facing the earth in the next few days, and it will be with us, I would have thought, right through to Sunday and Monday. Might even sort of see more coronal holes coming around the corner with a little bit of fire. But I would say, because there's been more filament energies, I would be more inclined to sort of say we'll be going to be talking about water principally, with earth, mixed with earth in the beginning part of the week, and fire in the latter stages of the week. So we will see that in your weekly readings, which come out on Thursday and Friday. Earth and fire signs on Thursday, water and air signs on Friday. Let me just, what we're going to do is we're going to reconnect to the, my nose is running like a terrible one, but I don't want to stop, so you'll have to forgive me. My body is just in the process of dealing with, it's having like a cold I look at as it's a bit like an update on the antivirus for your own body. So my body is going through that. I'm supporting my body in doing that and trying to help it along in multitudes of different ways. And so it's allowing my body to just do an antivirus, like my immune system is having an update on it. Okay? So it's very strange. Let me just see if, I don't know if you can see there behind, There's like a very big buzzard up there, and it is being hounded by crows. I don't know if you can see that. I tell you what, it's a bit systematic of life at the moment. Look at they're dive bombing it. I don't know whether you can see that or not. Absolutely phenomenal. There we go, another dive bomb on it. Excuse me. But that's a little bit like life at the moment, really. You may find your path is taking you away from the norm because a new norm is being created out of the chaos of the social disorder that we have at the moment. Nothing is in a good structure at the moment, regardless of what you're looking at, being it governance or finances or sociable connections with everybody and so forth. There seems to be through the chaos, a clarity is arriving, a new norm is approaching. And that's because individually, each one of us are creating the new norm in our life. And that's what it felt like there, is like the old guard, the old way, the old world is desperately trying to cling on to an old way of doing things. And the new reality is going to be a conscious one, built out of common sense. And common sense is because I don't have to tell you the sense of how we should do things. You sense it through energy and through the moment. And I think that's where consciousness is really coming into play in the world and in the vibration. And that's because we're going into that whole pole shift scenario. A renewal is happening all over the place. And this is a massive renewal that's happening. Okay, so let's just see if we can get some messages from the earth. Here we go. Find that neutral point. There we go. The wind dropped as well. Just connecting now to that line that's just behind me here. There we go. I'm connected to it. I'm just going to go and find that crossing point, that vortex. There it is there. And I just jumped down into the vortex, going down through the mantle. Now, I have talked about the earth breathing in the past, and it appears to be, I'm just looking at the mantle now, and just under the mantle, and that layer that was pressed up, that magnetic layer that was pressed up, I think it was to do with that impact that came from the solar activity. It was being drawn to it to defend the earth. We talked about that last week or the week before, how the earth could send out an eruption of a magnetic field in order to combat or to engage with solar activity as it comes towards the earth, so it protects the earth and its magnetic field. And it seems to have done that. And since it's done that, now there's a breathing space. So there's a slight gap. It's almost as if like that magnetic field, that void of magnetic field that's going through the mantle seems to be relaxed. It's breathing, which is really nice. And everything seems to be really calm, incredibly calm. It's a long time since I've seen calmness like that within the Earth's energy. Let's just keep going down. Here we go. We come right down. We step out of the vortex. There's the sphere that is in front of us. I've got a funny feeling it's growing in size. It's taking more importance. And I think maybe that's what's bringing the stability back to the system. But this stability is within the center of the earth. It's not on the surface. And the more pressure that it applies onto the surface, the more things will dissolve, and energy will dissolve and reform as this pole shift happens. It's not ready totally yet, That has to do with that clock thing, I think, that we said on the wall. But it seems to be breathing at the moment, as if like the Earth's energy within the center is just going, okay, I'm ready, sort of scenario. Let's go and see. It's very nice. The opening is allowing me to go into that central sphere. We go into the central plasma ball. Everything seems to be very orderly. The Akashic, or the part of the Akashic library which is being built at the center of the Earth. Now, I was talking to someone about this during the week, as I was having some sessions during the week. And it could be the fact that, we're being tied now, spirit is being tied to this local Akashic library. I'll speak to you about that afterwards. If you maybe on the live on Sunday, we'll talk about it. Let's just see what's going on. Here's the administrator. He's ticked, we were talking about ticking the boxes off. He's ticked off all the boxes. And there's one box which is called the final push. It's like the birthing of when I said the Earth's energy was pregnant, like a mother, like ready to give birth. That's that final push. It's like everything's in place, and it's almost as if like the energy is gradually growing in size, and that's that breathing factor that's going on. And as it increases in size, it's getting ready for that last push, that flip of energy, where that is what pole shift's all about. And yes, it will cause a bit of what we would perceive as being a little bit like chaos, really. But out of that chaos will come a beautiful ordained light, as it were. Okay, so let's just. Okay, so he's talking to me about the next solar cycle as well. And he's glad that I've had a look at that and also found the double cycle. And he's sort of explaining when the push will be. Let me have a look around. He said, yeah, have a look at the clock. So now I'm pointing over to the clock. It's getting a lot more defined down to like 5-6 years sort of scenario seems to be going on there. It's not going up to the 10 anymore, but it's going down to the 5 around about that. There is a bit more increase to the 8 occasionally, but it's still wavering between sort of between those sort of times there. And there's nothing we can do. You don't need to worry about this at all. There's nothing to worry about. Peace should be with you. Okay, so let's just have a look inside the portal, see what's going on there. That light is almost shining, is coming a lot closer. It's still quite a way off, but because it's coming closer, it's like through an optic, it's making a equivalent of a sword or a javelin of light that's heading towards this portal here. And it's definitely charging what would be the Akashic library, or this section of the Akashic library, if you like. And it seems to be charging that enormously. It's really lovely. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so can I get a message from all of this? You know what to do. We know what to do. You know what to do, people. I think this is where that's out of that peace comes knowledge, not belief, comes knowledge. You know, you feel it within you. And it is right. Okay, so I'm just stepping out of that sphere now. Let's go on to okay, so I'm just getting the messages from the Earth's energy here. And it is that, got that motherly figure still. And it says, nurture your future, feed your future, nurture it like you would nurture a child. And it's, these are the moments that what you feed into it now, you will reap what you sow, sort of scenario. That's how it's going to be. And if someone is sowing bad seeds, let them sow bad seeds. They will reap that. There's no judgment in this at all. It's just the way it is. That's what it's sort of saying. It's just the way it is. Okay? So I thank you for that. Okay. Okay, here comes my vortex here, coming back up the vortex. Here it is, coming back up the vortex, down the line, back into the body. So, yes, we will reap what we sow. And it is not, obviously, it's not how you sow money. It's not that. It's how you sow your consciousness into the future. That earth energy that's coming through, as I said, for for this reading this week, will be earth and water with earth and fire energy coming through. And what was the other thing that we talked about there down there? Talk on the live. I'm sure you'll remind me. To be honest, I'm just enjoying the peaceful energy that's flowing through this church at the moment. So, yes, it is that, waiting for that last push. It's like a pregnancy that is now at 4 months, 5 months. So we've got past the initial difficult stage, and it's now the growing of the future through our consciousness. It's going to take a few years, and yes, there will be a little bit of chaos that goes on, but generally what we sow now, we will reap in the future. So be very conscious about that. Okay. Yes, thank you for all your support you give to this channel through the YouTube system. It's absolutely beautiful. I will see you on Sunday for the live, which goes out at 2100 hours UK time, or on your weekly messages reading. That's Earth and Fire on Thursday night, Water and Air on Friday night. So it's Thursday and Friday. And there is a couple of other videos that are going to be coming out this weekend as well. So I'll see you all for that. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.